Pisces, water, full moon circle, welcome. I was trying to Yoda that. Didn't really, I should have done, no, I don't know how to, I would have Yoda that. Anybody? Either way, welcome. I'm glad you're here. Today's a very fun one because we're going to be talking about dreams, all kind of dreams, and you'll see within our practice. But first, as always in the full moon events, we open up our own circles. Yes, girls. Yes. So I'm going to put on some nice music. And then when the song is over, we'll come back. If I feel like everybody looks ready, then I'll stop it beforehand. Like if everybody's just sitting here like, hey, Jowsen, move on, then we'll move on. Okay, so give me a signal, give me a nod, give me a thumbs up. I'll be here watching. Are you ready for confetti? And coming back. A little note before we move on into the astrology, which is on my phone. Here it is. Okay. If you don't know, now you know that Trish is officially in Florida. So please send her a message, honor her. She's not here, sadly, but she just got from a 10-day, I believe it was, trip from Washington, like not Washington, D.C., Washington, all the way to the Northwest. And she made it all the way to the Southeast in Florida just to be with the sisters and to start a whole new chapter. So let's definitely honor her. And if you haven't met her 3 doggies, you're gonna fall in love. Just a heads up, they're the cutest. So enjoy Trisha's company, and Allie and Emily will recently come. All right, so the full moon in Pisces mooncast. By letting your imagination run wild with this energy, it activates deep-seated creativity within us that needs to be massaged and focused into something real and tangible. Work with spiritual tools, create sacred spaces, and make a wide berth for rituals of deep alignment between your body and your soul. The Virgo sun and Venus sit opposite in the Pisces moon and Neptune, with both a T square to Mars in Gemini. In a nutshell, we may have vibrant ideas for bringing more beauty into the world, but could be debilitatingly sensitive to the opinions and feedbacks we get from others. Remember that other perspectives, though valuable at times, can also serve as distractions and even excuses as to why we aren't allowed to create art the way we see fit. Instead, consider the implications of creating works of art under the influence of true inner alignment and ease. This is also a great time to look at your dreams, which is the practice that we will be doing today. Not only dreams, nighttime dreams, but dreams as in what you're working towards, and doing a reevaluation. We're in September 13, so we're close to the end of the year. So reevaluating, what did you write down in the beginning of the year that you wanted done, and seeing, okay, what changed along the way, right? Because things change along the way. You make plans, and then plans make you. That's the whole thing. So double check in and then reevaluate. Okay, you know what? I don't want to do that anymore. Maybe I want to do this in 2023. Maybe I want to give up on that completely, and I want to start working on X, Y, and Z. Okay, so we created vision boards in the beginning of the year, if you don't remember. We also, in the beginning of the year, worked on our new Earth vision. Everybody remember this? We've been doing this for the last 3 years now. So we have that beautiful spreadsheet that we all get together and we anonymously vote, unanimously, is that what it is? Unanimously vote for what we want to see in New Earth-wise. And it's a pretty long goal, which I think in 2023, we're going to start working on what that year's New Earth goal is going to be within our own lives. So just putting that out there, and maybe something you can think about as well and muster in there. And if you think about something, we can definitely talk about it. Okay. So moving on to our journal prompts, and then we can officially do all the things. It's going to be really easy if you have a piece of paper and a pen/pencil. So if you have that, or I sent the PDF in the Signal group, and I will also add it to the replay section at the bottom of this video for any replayers out there. And I'm going to take out my little Canva to show you girls what it looks like. Oh, hold on. Let me fix this for you. I will put it out this way. All right, so if you have a piece of paper, you can put it into 4 quadrants. Uh-oh. Okay. There you go. All right, almost there. There you go. When you put it into 4 quadrants, you may put the first quadrant, and it says my dreams as a child. So Claudia Nieves, before this recording, was sharing a little bit about her dreams as an actual child, like when her night dreams. You could totally write those down if you like here. I would also write down what did you want to be? So for example, there was a time period where I wanted to be a singer. And to this day, I consider myself a singer, just not a pop star singer like I thought I was going to be as a kindergartner, right? At the same time, I remember wanting to be a psychologist, which to this day, I definitely would say I am a psychologist. I have an associate's degree in psychology, but I also have studied many books and I've had great conversations with psychologists. So that is my title. So just think about what is it that you wrote down, whether you want to be a firefighter or an astronaut or a fashion model, whatever that is, and see if you recreated that somehow into your life and still brought that passion that you had for that. Maybe not the dream about being a firefighter, but maybe you help people in a new way. Maybe you're still connected to water or fire or whatever that looks like for you. So check in and write that down. I'm going to create my own quadrants. And I will I didn't do the music. I'm going to quickly add share sound.
I have a question.
What is your question, madame?
Why only from 1 to 20 years?
So the my ultimate happily ever after, is that the one you're talking about? Yes. Okay. So I put 1 to 20 years because there you could put ultimate, but see if you can put a time that you'd like to create that. So maybe you want to. I have my dreams now because maybe your ultimate dream.
So it was a perception of the 1 to 20. I thought it was 1 to 20 years old of age. I'm like, why it was so limited?
No. Yeah, whatever
I
your
got
dreams
you,
are
got you.
now, but
Now got
what
it, got it.
if you feel like you can create the next year or 20 years?
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, before I put on some music then. So my dreams as a child. Anybody have any questions on that one? Okay. My dreams now. Yes. That's it.
Sorry, quick question.
Yeah.
My dream as a child is not a specific dream you had as a child, but things you wanted to do when you were a child or that you were
You could
hoping
do
to
both.
do.
You could do
Okay.
both. Yeah.
Okay.
If you
Okay.
kind of if you think it's a, like, for example, I constantly had dreams about whales as a child. So I'm gonna write that down. Even though I don't particularly like whales, I definitely have it on my bucket list to see a humpback whale while scuba diving. I already have my certification. Why not aim for big? Right? Funny, get it, big whale. Okay. And then as well as I want to look up what whale means. I never
You
really kind of did
you
that.
you might have a power animal or totem animal or however you want to call it that is a
Uh,
whale. I'm just
maybe,
saying.
maybe, yeah. I definitely
Yeah.
have a fox. I don't know. We'll see. So I'm gonna write things down like that. And similar to one of the other ones I had was a witch that was always following me around, which makes total sense now. Right? So just noticing that what our dreams meant as well as what we actually wanted to be in kindergarten.
Baba Yaga probably following you around. Just saying. Just
Ah.
saying.
Could be, could be.
It's so funny. I used to have a dream of a witch that lived on like this. It's funny, even Lisette, that you said Baba Yaga. She had like these chicken feet under the
Bab-
house.
Baba Yaga.
Yeah, I used to dream about her all the time, and I was so scared. And then Jaslyn, you just said, no wonder a witch, right? So funny.
Yup.
Mm.
If you dreamt of a house with chicken feet, that was Baba Yaga 150%. For sure.
Wow.
Yup.
She was taking care of you.
Yup.
And,
That's so
and I share something like that, right? In the beginning too, like having no it,
You had
it
Dracula.
was for me it was Dracula, but it wasn't Dracula. Maybe it was a wizard. And my interpretation was Dracula because I felt a little fear about it because he was flying and watching and you cannot have eye contact with him, but it really never did anything to us. And I had that dream very repetitive in my life, right? So
Yeah, definitely write that one down for sure.
And I just want to add, Baba Yaga is a Slavic goddess. So Regina, your background is Slavic, so she could have been a
No
guardian.
way, Regina. I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
What?
So
so interesting. Wow.
Well, listen,
yeah.
for people that don't know about Baba Yaga, can you give a little background history?
Right. So Baba Yaga is originally, I believe she was Russian. And she is a goddess very similar to Hecate, in the sense that she is all about magic, transformation, shadow work.
No way.
Yeah, absolutely.
I
And
didn't know that.
very powerful goddess, very protective, but she had a very bad rap because if you know the story of Hansel and Gretel, okay? Well, she's the witch in the woods that Hansel and Gretel go into her home, okay? So people like, would do these stories to kind of like keep people away from the woods, and they would say that you would encounter the little old witch in the chicken feet house that would cook you in the oven. So it's like she had a bad rap, but in reality, nothing like that. She is a goddess, and very revered. She's a crone and a very powerful, very protective, and great goddess to turn to, like I'm saying, for any kind of magical shadow work, anything like that. And like, this is, we're coming into her season. Her season is the whole like Samhain, fall season.
Hmm.
That's the season of Baba Yaga. So she's a very interesting goddess, very interesting. She just has a bad rap, unfortunately, you know. So yeah, when you think
Thank
of
you.
a witch, like with the hat and the like the warts, and like they do in Halloween, okay, well, that's supposedly is like Baba Yaga is one of the ones that they got that from, like that supposedly she looked like that. So anyway,
Hmm.
that's my spiel on Baba Yaga. Interesting goddess.
Well, thank you. Well,
You're welcome.
I was reading a few days ago, specifically because I was teaching this in my womb awakening program, but I ended up learning about the history of broomsticks with witches as well, as a little fun fact. So we know that the bottom of the broomstick was normally used to clean the house, right? That's what brooms are still used for. And it would get rid of negative energy in the house as well, right? And we would normally do some kind of chant in our our ancestors would do some kind of chant or something like that, consistently sing a song while they're getting rid of the negative energy in the house. A little small practice you can add to your own little practice at home, as well as at the top of the broomstick, if you think about it, would be used as a little inside our yoni, as kind of like a and so would magical wands would be also be used to inflict our beautiful mucus on it as kind of like a coating for our broomsticks and our magic wand. Yes, are you understanding me, or should I be more specific? Top of broomstick dildo for the witch. So, and we would also put the broomstick, top the broomstick into an entheogen, which think mushrooms, anything like that, cacao maybe even, and we would enter that into our yoni as a beautiful dildo and put that into ourselves as, bringing it into our body is another way. So I don't know if that works, like,
Oh my,
getting
oh
all
my
big
God,
about it, but I love that
that's
practice.
that sounds savage and kind of painful though. Like a
No,
stick?
no,
No?
no. I mean, think about old broomsticks. Like, are they thick? No, they tend to be, dildo size.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, good point. Okay. Because I was kind of I mean, I have a broom and I was just like envisioning that and I was like, oh my God, that's kind of painful. I don't know.
Yeah, no, they don't
My
really
two
make
cents.
brooms available at the top anymore. Yeah, that's why people
Yeah,
make their own brooms. And that's another thing, right? You would make your own broom
okay.
in the olden days. So you would
Got
make
it.
it perfect
Got it.
for
Yeah,
you,
right.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Thank you. Yeah.
Fun fact about brooms. All right, well, that was fun. So my dreams now for today, I wrote down these little questions so that I can be specific, but what is your dream now? And it may be for me, as you girls heard before this recording and on the call and last call, for me, I'm working on going internationally traveling for at least a year, probably more. So with that said, that is my dream right now. That is what I'm working towards. Maybe your dream is to get a promotion in your job or to write a book or whatever that looks like. Write that down. And then for my nightly dreams, I asked you girls to write down what your dreams have been in the last few days, saying if you can keep a dream journal nearby. And Lisette told me that she dreamt about me, which was a fun one. We had a few shares, but we'll definitely share again on what our nightly dreams have been. And Regina wanted to share as well. So when we get there, we'll do that. And we talked a little bit about my ultimate happily ever after dream. So think about your perfect day. What does your perfect day look, feel, taste, all five senses? And it's a tiny little quadrant maybe for you, where you have the back of the paper as well if you printed it out. All right. With that said, any last questions before I put on a little bit of music so we can work on this just a little bit more?
Can you leave it on the screen just so
Oh,
we
yeah.
can see them? Okay,
I'm leaving it on
awesome.
the
Thank
screen.
you.
Got you. All righty, checking in. How we're doing with these quattro questions? 4 questions. That's my Spanglish. Need some more time, or are we good?
I'm good.
We're good. We're good. Okay, cool. So with that, I have 3 more questions that are specific not to the full moon, but to the Mercury retrograde in Libra that we're in. So if you're not aware, we're in the middle of a Mercury retrograde in Libra starting September 9 all the way until September 23. So during this cycle, I'm going to do like a little thing and then I'll give you the question. During this cycle, we could face countless miscommunications in both the context of messages sent as well as technological errors. So we were talking about our dreams, but just notice that there is a chance that there's been a miscommunication, and re-look at those dreams in the near future after September 23 and be like, oh, maybe that's what I meant. So be open to looking at different ways of what it could mean outside of what you think it could mean. Next, this is a particularly good time to slow down and take the time to understand others' communication and learning styles, rather than perceiving mistakes made as character flaws on their part. So this is a good time for 5 love languages. There's also the 5 apology languages that I found to be very helpful. You can learn about enneagrams and all the things that make us different instead of making each other wrong. The more we explore the ways in which others process information and organize their own ideas, the more open we'll be to actually understanding how to collaborate with them successfully and bring the best out in them. Furthermore, if we can make a concerted effort to listen to what others have to say and know what their values are, we can better come up with creative solutions that make use of their strengths. So as Mercury turns retrograde in Libra, we have the unique opportunity to examine not only the message of our communication, but also the medium through which it is delivered. So look at, if you start writing down your messages that you were receiving. So let's say you found, I don't know, you saw a new sign today. You were like, oh, that's a new number. Now I'm seeing 9 everywhere, whatever that is to you. Right now you're seeing a new sign. Go ahead and write that down and how you experienced it. And then look at it again at the end of this Mercury retrograde to reevaluate what that message could have meant. And then during this time, we are becoming more aware of the Libran art to the delivery of messages, from the aesthetic components of graphics, logos, photos, or fonts. So look at, if you have a brand, if you have a business, this is a good time to look at that brand and just notice, like, what does this font, how does this font make me feel? Right? You can go to an art museum and really start feeling, how does this art make me feel? So start looking at every little thing that is coming into your perspective and check in with yourself. What is your intuition telling you? And check in again, because once again, there could be some miscommunication with the signs. This is a good time to write things down if you think it's a message, and then reevaluating it after September 23. Okay, girls? Yes, you heard me. Okay, cool. So some questions to ask yourself as well within this Mercury retrograde in Libra until September 23. Again, this is, I recommend that you write down these questions and write something down for now, whatever comes up now, but re-look at these questions, put a little calendar invite to yourself, for yourself, a little self-love practice to go through these 3 questions again at the end of the Mercury retrograde in Libra. You see what we're doing here? We're going to practice, make ourselves aware of it when we're in this room. So the first question is, what do you consider success? So think about a definition of what you consider success to be. First thing that pops up, don't cheat. Okay, first thing. All right, I'm seeing people look up. I'm checking in. And it shouldn't be a long definition. So I'll also stop you there. All right, the second question, Regina's going to love this one. What brings you a sense of peace? What brings you a sense of peace? Okay, this is a great time period, especially during this retrograde, to go inwards a little bit, as well as putting these things into practice, whatever brings you peace. Checking in. Thumbs up if you're done. Okay. Next question, and this is the last question. Where can you simplify and minimalize? Where can you simplify and minimalize? Maybe it's your home in general. Maybe it's your desk area, making it simpler when you get in. And you'll just notice this is a good time to unclutter your brain as well as your environment. So desk area, your nightstand, your clothes area, your shoes. Maybe you have a lot of shoes. Maybe you just saved a bunch of paperwork throughout the years and this is a great time to look through. Or that receipt drawer where there's 100 receipts in there. You can probably go in there and start taking things out. Maybe you want to minimize your books. Maybe. I'm kidding. Kind of kidding, but not kidding. And also simplify, minimalize your life. Look bigger. Okay. Where can you simplify? Like, you know what? I can just say no to that. I don't even do that. I just don't want to do it. Maybe you want to simplify your business. Okay, I have 100 things going on in my business. Maybe I can simplify this, put this into a little flow, right? Create a cycle maybe of what kind of products are going through. All right. So where can you simplify and minimalize? Here comes the song again. Give me a thumbs up when you're ready. No rush. If you have a little bit extra time, go ahead and just re-look at all the questions. Checking on your dreams, which ones are kind of short. These are your dreams, girls, so feel free to make the list bigger. And Regina, I think I'm waiting on you, okay? So let me know. Alrighty. It's officially sharing circle time. Well, I cannot wait to hear whoever wants to go first on talking about your dreams. And if you want to talk about the last 3 questions, feel free as well. So that I would love to hear. Well, I thought it was interesting. I'm going to share really quickly. I thought it was interesting that my definition for success, I put eudaimonia and I just period. Like, I didn't go any further than that. So if you don't know what eudaimonia means, it's a Greek word for happy, healthy, and prosperous. It's a word that entitles all 3 into your daily life. So I really like that word. And it's actually a pen name. I'm thinking for all the books I'm creating for Red Sun Goddess, I'm thinking about putting it under my spiritual name, Gabriella Eudaimonia, instead of doing it on my actual name. I think it'll be easier, especially for people that I meet along the way in life. So Gabriella Eudaimonia, and success is eudaimonia to me. So that one shocked me. It kind of made me happy. So that was my little share for now. How about you girls? Give me some good news. Or bad news, I'll take it too. Regina, I'd love to hear about your dream that you had that you wanted to mention.
Sure. So it's quite interesting that today, just now, what you were just talking about, Joss, about the 5 love languages and relationships and that whole thing. And I think my dream had something to do with my relationship, which recently, 2 weeks ago, my boyfriend and I think we had a really big misunderstanding. And I think we both overreacted. And so I definitely see where old patterns of mine showed up. And at the same time, I still want to be treated the way I want to be treated. And I think he's very, not just capable of that, but he's already shown me ways that he's done that. And so I'm like, okay, that's cool. And yet people have their stuff, so I think there's 2 things. One is the dream was it wasn't actually him in the dream, it was another ex-boyfriend. And that ex-boyfriend reminds me, this recent, he's an ex, but we'll say boyfriend for tonight. This recent boyfriend reminds me of that boyfriend. And like 10.0, not just 2.0, but like 10.0. Like he's got like way more going for him. He's much more evolved. He's much more, I don't want to say evolved. Let me take that back. Let me not give him that much credit. But he just shows up differently. And so these last 2 weeks, he's shown up in a way that I really didn't recognize him. And I was like, well, I haven't known him that long. So maybe this is who he is. And so in the dream, my other ex showed up and there was 2 of him. And I was like, what? Like, what are you doing here? And I dream about that guy still. And I still feel like there's a very loving connection between us, but I'm not, if he ever came back, unless he's a completely different version of himself, which this guy kind of reminds me of that, then I'm like, no, because he just doesn't seem to get his life together. And so when he showed up in the dream, I don't remember what he said. I remember he was talking, but I don't remember the words. I just remember seeing 2 of him. And I was like, which one are you? Which one's which? And he was like, both. And I was like, So it was trippy and weird and in a way comforting, but also really disturbing, because I woke up and I was like, well, where's the recent one? Why didn't he show up? And I'm like, maybe he did. I don't know. It's very strange. But the last thing I'll share is, and I'm open to any insights or interpretations if anyone has any. The last thing was, I thought it was really cool that Lisette brought up Baba Yaga today, because I had like a lot of fear growing up around her. And like every time I would dream about her, which was like sometimes a couple times, not a month, but she showed up like at least once a month. And then it would like freak me out for days. And like, I remember crying, and it was a big deal. And so today, old stories came up and I was like, nah, you don't belong here. Like, I don't need you. And I like asked for help. Like I literally like called Claudia Passetti about something else. And I just kind of told her, I was like, I know I have old stories going on right now around some stuff that's totally not related to what the phone call was about, but it was great because I could get it out. And then I could recognize like, oh, this is like, I've been grieving old parts of myself that are like trying to leave. And I'm just like, that's why I felt so relieved today. And I felt so different. And I couldn't really do that when I was mixed up with the relationship. Like he helped me kind of extract those parts of myself, but I needed a few days, and I might need a few more days because I don't want to reach out to him during retrograde. I'm like, okay, that's enough miscommunication. Let me just sit with it and just focus on forgiveness and compassion and unconditional love. And if he comes around, he comes around. And if not, then I'll decide how I feel in 2 weeks. And so this is all really interesting and timely. Thanks for letting me share.
Really cool. Look, I love it when the full moon event is like new whole idea of what is happening in my life. Those are definitely the best. So thank you for your share. Thank you. Yeah. So you said you were going to mention your nightly dream. I didn't hear that. So I just wanted to check in. You said you had a dream recently that you wanted to talk about.
That I did?
Yeah.
Oh, the dream was
I just wanted to check in.
The 2 versions of the guy.
Stories. Oh, okay, that was the recent dream. Okay, cool.
Yeah, that was the recent dream. I didn't know if you meant like dreams like goals. Is that what you were referring to, or like actual dreams?
Yeah, you in the beginning when we were talking about nightly dreams, you said there was a dream. So that was the one with the 2. Okay. I just wanted to be clear. I wanted to make sure you got it out. Cool. That was interesting. Yeah. It made sense how you put it together, your whole story quite well with understanding how the dream and your real life is coming together. Yeah. I actually, we were talking about dreams. I wrote down a dream where we were watching a TV show with my niece, and it's called Freebirds on Netflix. We're doing this cute new thing because she's like almost 2 now, so she's now being kitty versus childlike the entire time. So Yusuf and I are watching Netflix, and she comes into the room and is like, and she puts her foot up, like, get me up here. I want to hang out with you too. She loves hanging out with the 2 of us. So she ends up getting on the bed with us, and we're like, okay, we're not going to watch Lord of the Rings right now, which you're watching the TV show. We're going to watch something cute and her like. So we found Freebirds, we put it on, and it was about these turkeys that are going back before Thanksgiving to change Thanksgiving. And I don't want to ruin it for, can I ruin it? Are you guys okay with me ruining the so at the end they change it from being Thanksgiving where we can't like fast with the turkey to Thanksgiving and we fast with pizza because they brought it from the future into the past and made pizza a thing. So I thought that was really cute. And throughout the movie, she had her feet up, like you know when you do that, and you have your feet in the back, just moving. And she had one on Yusuf, one on me, and we both were like playing with her feet, and we would stop, and she'd go until we played with her feet again. Like she wanted us to give Pukiita to her feet, so she would just move her feet. It was the cutest thing. So that night, I had a dream that I went back in time in my own life. And throughout the last few days, there's been this weird thing where we wanted to leave earlier, but we wanted to stay for Christmas with the family one more time before we can't do that. We want to see Nobly for another few months. There's been this like whole play in my head of like, I want to be here, but I don't want to be here. And I'm feeling like this weird energy. So I've been playing with it, and I can tell some days I'm up and some days I'm down. Like, oh, I'm ready to leave. You know, other days I'm like, hey, no, this is really cute with Nobly. And I've been going through that. So the dream was me going back to the past and experiencing the last 4 or 5 years all over again because I ended up traveling back in time, it seems. And when I re-experienced in my dream the last 4 or 5 years, I was like, wow, first off, I've come a long way from 4 or 5 years ago. Like I started to see all the changes that I have gone through as well as Yusuf has gone through. And I realized how lucky I am to be where I am in life and how proud I am to be where I am. And it just, it's been a completely different me the last few days since I had that dream. So I think I got the communication correctly, but I guess I'll see after September 23 if there's like another meaning to that dream. I did write it all down and I wrote it down here as well. So that was a nice little dream of mine. Yay. Alrighties, who's next? Who wants to be next? Yay! Aislinn Wolf.
Thank you. So, before I share my dream, I just want to make a quick mention for Regina. So my interpretation of why Baba Yaga keeps popping up is from what I've read and understood about Baba Yaga's energy. She is very much a goddess or a guiding spirit, however you want to, some people say goddess, some people say like spirit, but she's all about change and she's all about shadow and she's all about letting go. So I think this is just my little 2 cents. I think she pops up because she wants to bring to your attention something that you need to let go of, or some kind of shadow work that maybe you need to do, or something that you're sitting with. And I think she comes in that scary manner that freaks you out because it makes you pay attention. It's like that's because I've read about like she's not an easy goddess. Like she's not like all flowy and sweet, and you know what I mean. It's not that energy. She's an energy of let's get down to business. You know what I mean. And so she can come across as scary, but if you notice, you pay attention, you remember those dreams. Like so it's, if you think back, has she appeared in moments in your life, right, where things have been going on? And so it causes you to take a pause and pay attention. And I think that's what she's trying to do in her own way. I think she's trying to get your attention. So sit with that and see if that makes sense. But that's what I got intuitively. That's what I got as you were talking. So anyway, just wanted to mention that. So
thank you.
You're welcome. Do you want me to share about my dreams as a child, my dreams today, or just the nightly dreams?
Everything and anything that you'd like to share about. I do want to add one little thing to Regina's thing as well.
Go for
Regina, the Baba Yaga dreams were when you were a kid, right? Not recently, right? Well, now that you're spiritual and that you're into this work? Has it been recently?
It was when I was a kid, but like it's not an accident that we're
It's
talking about it now, because I'm all about
exactly.
transformation and change, and like that's what I'm passionate about in this life is and I feel like maybe this is a much bigger thing for my brand too. Maybe I'm evolving into helping people with shadow work versus
Oh,
inner peace. Like you do the shadow work to get to the inner peace. So I
mm,
feel like there's something there too.
mm, very good. I like that. And we were talking about branding. This is a good time to rebrand and such too. So, oh, I'm totally seeing the dots. I also wanted to mention that for me, goddesses show up either in my dream or in a ceremony or whatever it is, but they might also show up like I'll have an ad that says Aphrodite's perfume or something like that. And right now we're talking about Baba Yaga, so she might be trying to reach out to you in another way. That when for me, when I have a new goddess that speaks up or Astarte's blank. Like I'm like, what are the chances that it's called Astarte blank? You know, whatever it is. I'll look up the mythology, even if I've read it before, and I'll re-go through it. So that there might be an extra hidden sign or message for me if you want to go deeper. And now that you're ready, instead of her having to show up as a dream, she's like, "All right, Regina, I'm going to show up in the sisterhood. I'm going to make this a little easier on you. If you work with me, if you don't, I'm going to scare the shit out of you again." So hopefully, I just wanted to bring that out, so she
I
doesn't
love
have to
it.
scare the shit out of you.
Thank you, sisters. This is
You're
so
welcome.
great. Thank you.
All right,
Love it.
sorry, Iceland Wolf. Go ahead. I just wanted to add that.
So, okay, no problem. So let's see. My dream as a child, three things I wanted to be when I was a kid. Become an anthropologist, which I know is a little weird for a kid. There it is. Become a teacher and become an opera singer. Those were my three like things I dreamt about doing. And it's funny. I actually did become a teacher, so I did fulfill that one. I didn't become an actual opera singer, but I took many singing lessons. I've sang in weddings. I've sang in many different occasions where I've done some classical pieces. So I'm not an opera singer, but I've kind of fulfilled that in a sort of weird way. Um, I'm definitely not an anthropologist, but then again, I've done a lot of research on religion, spirituality, goddesses. And so I've done a lot of, research on my own and teaching about goddesses, like right through the priestess program. So it's not anthropology, but it is ancient religion, ancient spirituality. So there's still a little bit of that. An anthropologist is somebody that studies ancient cultures. Like think Indiana Jones, but instead of digging, they're like doing the background work, working at the museums, uncovering ancient, and sometimes they go on location and they visit, like Alberto Villoldo. He's a medical anthropologist, to give you an example, like Alberto, the famous the deck of cards that you have, the shamanic cards that you had, what I'm talking about. So he's written like a ton of books. The Four Winds with the whole Panchamama. Okay. Anyway, so he's a medical anthropologist. So just to give you an idea, like that's what I kind of wanted to be when I was a kid. So anyway, those were my three dreams as a child. My dreams today: to not work more than 40 hours, to run a goddess temple, and to write fiction books. That would be my dreams today. My ultimate happily ever after dreams: to travel, to become an accomplished author, to own properties and live out of my properties so that I don't have to work so many hours, to have a goddess temple, and to own a nonprofit and become a successful coach. So that would be my 20-year, I guess, dream. And then from my nightly dreams, what I did write is I dream a lot with my mom. She comes up a lot in my dreams. My mom passed when I was 19, but she shows up a lot, a lot. I dream a lot with my first husband and his family. Usually very frustrating dreams, but it happens quite often. And then I dream a lot with Rick and your mom, my bestie, and friends. So I do have a lot of dreams where my friends show up and Rick shows up in different scenarios. So those are like some of my I guess like dream symbols, that come in my dreams. Did you want me to talk about a specific dream? I do have one that's very significant. So I this is really interesting. As you know, I am a priestess of Bridget, and I had made a promise to Bridget a year ago. And it's funny because I was in one of my crazy weeks that I had so much work and so much on my mind. And it's not that I forgot, but I forgot that it was the next day. Like I knew it was that week, but I wasn't fully conscious when I went to bed that the next day was my anniversary of becoming her priestess. So that night, I asked for a dream with Hecate. I said, I want to encounter Hecate in a dream. That was what I put out there, right? So then I go to sleep and I dreamt that I was in a cafe and I see this beautiful woman come up to me, except she was dressed in a 1940s outfit with a hat and she had flaming curly red hair. Like flaming curly red hair. And she was very pale with a little bit of freckles right here and green eyes. And so she sits in front of me and I said, "Oh, you look familiar." And then she smiles and she says, "You think?" And I said, "Yeah, you look so familiar. Like I know you." And she says, "That's because you do." And I said, "Oh, wow, really? Oh, where are you from?" She's like, "I'm Irish." And I said, "Oh, I don't know anybody from Ireland." And then she smiles and she says, "Think a little deeper." And I said, "Oh, the only one I know that's Irish is the goddess Bridget." And then she smiles. And then she says, "I have to go now. I'll see you soon." And she gets up and she walks away. And so I stay staring at her in the dream and I'm thinking, God, that's odd. She's Irish and has red hair just like Bridget. And then I wake up. And then when I woke up, the first thing I saw, because I've got her altar right next to my bed, right? I look at the altar, like it was like, I woke up and I looked at it. And then I noticed that my little prayer beads had fallen off. And then I looked at it and I'm like, and then it hit me like when a realization just comes and hits you like a brick. I'm like, oh my God, today's our anniversary. That was Bridget. Like it was like that sudden, like, oh God, how did I miss that? What was I thinking? You know what I mean? So anyway, it was like one of those really weird aha moments. It just kind of like hit me like, so that day I did extra special things for her because, that had never happened to me in a dream. So I figured she walked in and said, "You're asking for Hecate and tomorrow is our anniversary. Hello." Did you forget me? So that was the impression I got when I woke up. So anyway, that was a really significant dream. So anyway, that was my dream. Am I missing anything? I think I covered everything, right? Oh, except the retrograde. Oh, what did you do when I woke up for the anniversary? Oh, so okay, so what I did was I baked a bread. I baked like a little loaf of bread, okay, and then I spread it with butter, and I had a little bit of beer because that's she loves beer. So I put honey, beer, the little loaf of bread that I baked for her, put some butter on it, and I put it as an offering. And then I got my prayer beads and I did like 3 rounds of like my prayer beads. I called the circle. I lit a candle for her and I did my little flame keeping all day. And I read about her. And I like my focus that day was all about her. Like I focused everything I did, I dedicated it to her. And like I just went all out and just really my focus was her and only her. So it was magical. It was really awesome. And then I said my vows to her again. Like I did like a, um, like I know I've already promised to be your priestess, but I promised once again. And I kind of like, so like renewing your vows. I kind of did something similar in a little ceremony. So anyway, yeah, I thought I had to go the extra mile because that was epic. It's not every day your goddess pops into a dream and it's like, did you forget me? So yeah, I was like, oh my God, yeah. So yeah, that's what I did. Yeah, it was awesome. It was very cool. I've never had that happen to me before like that. So yeah, she was beautiful, very classy. Yeah, really, very classy. 1940s outfit, all white, like a white outfit, kind of like a creamy white, and then with the hat and then flaming red hair. It's beautiful. So yeah, it was interesting. So let's see. Do you want me to talk about the Mercury retrograde questions? Yes? Okay. So what do I consider success? Okay, so working 40 hours or less. So you can tell this is a recurrent thing, you know. Um, but making a decent salary that covers all my needs and have time for self-care, because I have none right now, and become a healthy person, like a healthier person, like working on my health. That I consider that successful. What brings me a sense of peace? Self-care, time to myself, to do my spiritual practice, spend time with Rick and my closest friends, being helpful, making a difference in people's lives. That brings me a sense of peace. And what can I simplify and generalize? I can simplify and generalize my schedule, my spiritual practice, streamline it, make it more simple, and my spirituality, bring it into my daily life, like make my daily life more, you know, more uniform. I'm kind of like all over the place, and I need to not be all over the place. I need to be more, you know. So anyway, that's it. I'm complete.
Great job. Love it. Thank you. I
You're welcome.
wanted to know, so anthropology you did great in. For opera singer, I'd like to offer you an opportunity.
Okay, to become an opera singer?
to do a video. Do a video of you being an opera singer. Like get the little hat if you want to, or get dressed up for the occasion and find an opera song that you want to do and just make a video of it and have some fun. Maybe you don't have to share with anybody, but I would be honored. It's totally up to you. You
I
could
know
have
the
a sisterhood if you wanted to, or you could do
I know the perfect song. I've had an opera song that I learned when I was like 21, and like, you know, yeah.
Oh, look at that. That sounds
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah. Okay, I'll do that. Challenge accepted.
Yes. Okay, rock on.
Yeah, I will do that. I will do that.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool. I can't wait.
yeah.
Let me know when it's complete. It's nice
It's
of
in
you.
French. I'll do it this weekend. It's in French.
Aw,
Yeah,
yay!
it's
And I feel like that would also bring you some peace too. It sounds like a little fun project. So,
yeah, yeah, yeah. That'll be cool. Okay, I'll do it. Challenge accepted. Mhm.
oh yay! I'm excited for you.
Yeah, I'll do it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you, Andrea. Oh, Momro, thank you for the beautiful shares. Okay, bye, Nieve. Love you. Thank you. Thank you for being here. And happy birthday. Her birthday had just passed. Okay, Andrea, go ahead.
All right. I actually wanted to share about this experience that I've had with Goddess Hella kind of recently. I got connected to her a couple years back because I was with taking a course with a local coven. And then during Samhain, we did a ritual portrayal, and I was Hella. And that night, I'm driving home, and I mean, I really connected with her first of all. And when I was driving home, I took the turn off the highway, did a complete 360, and the concrete light was literally inches in front of my car when I finally stopped. And I took that as a really like, I mean, that's what she does. That's how she reaches out. It was kind of like drastic and saves you. And then like a month or so back, that was a night, a month or so back during the day, kind of raining, same thing happened. So I took that as you kind of went away a little bit. It's time to come back. So that that reminded me of that. So they make they make themselves known. Um so dream as a child, first of all, what did I wanted to do? I wanted to be a writer too, psychologist and interior designer. I kind of took that interior design aspect for me, because I realized I didn't really want to do that for other people. But I do still write. And then dreams. I had a dream back when I was in middle school. Um, Nonfiction. I always have to think poetry too. um, Dream back in middle school that I was sleeping with in my bed, obviously right next to a window, and then I just felt that I was being looked at, and I look out the window, and there's this creepy person just staring right at me, and that has stayed with me. And then I had this apocalyptic dream that I'm driving in a school bus, like through the desert, and there's a whole bunch of like kids in the bus with me. And it was a dream, but honestly, I feel like that was more of a past present life kind of thing. Um, and I love young Freud, and I've actually got this dream dictionary that I haven't even looked at in a while, but I can look at the whale for you, Jazz, in a minute. Um, and I actually just looked up the definition of, like, I didn't know how to look it up, but I looked up like creepy person, and I don't know why I never thought to look that up before, but um anyways, it made sense. Um, like a malformed creature denotes a part of ourselves which has been left damaged by painful childhood trauma or a lack of emotional nourishment. So that coincided with what I was going through. Um, Recent dream with I had this within the past couple of days actually, and I yeah, again, it makes so much sense. I was in this parachute, like skydiving, which I've done before. And in this dream, too, same thing as real life, I lost control of the handles. And in the dream, like I'm realizing and I'm scared, I'm about to crash through the ground. And then as I'm kind of waking up, I realize that it wasn't the ground, it was the water. And I'm fine. And I'm like completely fine. And I'm like landed from like a plane distance, and water represents emotions and dreams. So that was a nice little reminder. All this shadow work myself I've been doing recently, and emotions, that it's okay to do the work and I'm fine after it. um my dream has been like my life dream has been the same for a long time, and it's the same thing, that I want commune community in the woods by a lake with a wraparound front porch with pagoda, willow trees, kids, animals, and just a school for the kids. And it like encompasses all the things that we're not taught in schools that we need to be about emotions and life and that kind of thing. And then a little bit of sacred sexuality in the community too, just all of it. And I keep saying it, and it's the same thing. And I know that it's going to happen. Just the other day, actually, Sunday, I mean, I haven't been on social media like Facebook and Instagram a lot for quite a bit, but then over the past like week or so, I've been on it a little bit more. And this ad popped up for this course in school on kind of how you were saying before, and on that guy that you're working with, Jazz, but also just like how to make your own community with like no startup cost, trying to get investors and stuff like that. I'm like, it's right here. I'm getting what I need. So I feel like I'm making my way through that. And when I first had that dream um, of wanting to do this, I didn't have a community, and I'm thinking I have to do it myself. And I'm just realizing, extend your circle, meet people, because there's people with the same dream, and I don't have to do it by myself. There's going to be people that has the same vision, and it'll work together and it'll definitely happen. Um, and then I wanted to share too for Mercury retrograde. The definition of success is, it's for me, it's simple. Just give love and receive love, and be in a comfortable home. And yes, I'll take the course. We'll chat tomorrow morning, and I am complete. Thank you.
Yeah, so I have a course that it's called Living Your Off-Grid Dream, I believe is what it's called. And it teaches you how to find an investor for so that you don't have to pay for the land, so that you can have an investor that pays for the land, and then how to create a business proposal. And hey, I'm going to be doing retreats here. I'm going to open it up for Airbnb, and they can help pay for all those things. So it's a really cool. I like that course a lot. I'm not ready for it at this moment in my life. There's a step before that I have to do. #road travel and find land that I want to buy. Right. So I have to do that little process of where, but I have it. So I'd love to share that. I also want to notate that I've looked this up because I'm a researcher. There's got to be some kind of term, like an anthropology term of how much I research. If anybody knows it's like the researcher term for a degree or something, I'm that. So let's say a good piece of land is $100,000. What do you think? Yeah, like we're going for at least 10 acres or more. Well, but here's another little concept that I like knowing about. If you have 150 couples, you could make a city. So just put that in there. We could have a whole city. Like, why not just buy land? Let's create a whole city. So putting that out there as a future goal of Red Tank Goddess, that we have a city of couples that just get together, or women in general. If you imagine a whole sisterhood of us, just okay, that would be funny. So we have 50 people, but let's say 100 people. So if we get 100 people that give us $1,000, we have $100,000. So if we did 50 people, we could do $2,000, and then we'd have $100,000 that we just save in a little pothole, or we buy land and then everybody could come and live on there. It has been on my mind that this is big goal of having a membership, that we all want to have the same land and do all the things. So help us help you by bringing people into the membership. So that when the proposal is created in a few years, that we buy land when it is found. So future goal, that is my plan. Feel free to join.
That's mine.
And you can make your own.
To get people into the membership. That's what I want to talk with you guys. So yes.
Oh, there you go. See, it's all coming together, weaving the New Earth together. It's happening. That's awesome. So thank you for your share. All right, so it's 8:35, so we still have some nice time. So what I want to do next is I want to mention two things. The thing that I'm going to mention, one thing that Regina will mention, and then we can actually close the recording early. And then if you girls want to hang out and just talk a little bit, we can do that. What do you think? Yeah. Any last words for the recording people and the replay people that you like to say or mention for any questions, any of the things?
Share the meaning of whale right now, so everybody.
Oh yeah, thank you. Yes, please.
The whale, because it is a mammal which lives within water, indicates the power of resurrection and rebirth, man's ability to come back from the dead.
Huh. So ability to come back from the dead and rebirth.
Yep. Transformation.
Go whale. I might make a whale my spirit animal over here if it's not already. The whale. I can just hear the whale being like, "I've been here the whole time." Okay, thank you for that. Okay, so last thing that I will mention, yes, no, okay. Last thing that I will mention for the recording is that I put a few days ago that we do a lot of mind and we do a lot of spirit things in Red Tent Goddess. So I would like to open up a time period where we work out together. So test trial number 1 is 6:30 a.m. Wednesdays and Fridays. who knows how long we're going to do this for or if this will be sustainable, but we're going to try because I think it would be nice. And worst case, we might move it to 7:30, 8:30 and figure it out. But trial number one, 6:30 a.m. Wednesday to Friday. So if you're open and you want to give it a shot, what the plan is, which again, trial number one, so it can change. Maybe we keep the time, but maybe we change the way we do this. So the plan is for the first week or two, Andrea and I, and Donna is also in it, but the first week is me, Andrea and I, unless somebody else joins, we're gonna be talking a little bit. We are thinking about picking an audiobook to listen to together, and we'll put it on Zoom and share sounds, and we'll just work out, no video, no talking, just we're gonna do a little sharing circle in the beginning, like okay, anything you want to mention for the day? What are your plans for the day? Oh, okay, yay, cool. All right, it's been 10 minutes, so let's get our heat on, right? And then we'll open up and, or should I say shut down, but keep ourselves open and aware. And the whole point of if you decide to step up and say, I want to do 6:30 a.m. Wednesday and Friday, then you just have to show up or let us know if you're not coming beforehand because we will call you and just make sure that is the whole point, to keep each other committed to doing something. It doesn't matter what you do. We're not going to be like looking at you like, what'd you do? We're like, we're not making you wrong, none of it. We just show up. And if you want to leave afterwards, that's totally up to you. But the whole point is show up at 6:30 a.m. and make time for health. So that is your plan. So if you're interested, let me know. I can send you the link. And Regina had something that she also wanted to mention.
Yeah, I'm almost finished with my book, but I just got distracted earlier this year. And so I'm looking to finish by the end of the year, and accountability partners. So I have one other group, women's group, that talk to about it. But if anyone wants to do it here, I can let them know the times and we can create some time together. I'm sure I could use some extra time. So, and my goal is to have it finished by the end of the year.
Cool. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.
I also have a 7-day challenge nonfiction book writing course that I haven't completed, and I'd like a book cover. It teaches you how to write, like you spend a whole day outlining and writing with the 7-day challenge, editing the book, formatting the book, and how to publish it on KDP. So maybe if you want
Guess we lost her.
Uh-oh, I thought it was just me. No bueno.
Regina,
Yeah.
for the accountability partner, for sure.
Yeah. Cool. Okay.